Alright, all my YouTubers out there. Oh, hold on a sec. I gotta plug my headset in. I forgot about that. Oops. Give me a sec. I had my headset plugged into my phone. There we go. Alright. Okay, so. Oh, I'm so nervous. Alright, so I created this. So what I'm doing new with my YouTube channel, instead of just... I play games on Twitch. And then YouTube, we can come over here and chat about subjects. You do crime if you want. I'm starting off with crime. Because that's what I watch, that's what I like, that's what I do. Gotta put my criminal justice degree somewhere, right? Just kidding. Gotta put it to use somewhere. So, excuse my background and everything now, but it'll be different, and hopefully soon I'll be in a different room soon, and I'll be in a room where I can actually decorate my background and put stuff how I want it. That's specifically for my channel, yeah. Working on painting and finishing the room upstairs. So I think I've been thinking about doing the one on Lizzie Borden for a while, but I'm gonna put that off for a minute because I was watching a crime show the other day, and I saw something that kind of clicked in my head and made me think, okay, I'll put that one off for a minute, and I'm gonna go to this one for a sec. And so I know on the last one, I don't know how many people watched that. I said I was gonna do an episode on Lizzie Borden, but I said I'm gonna put that off for another minute. Sorry if I look a little tired today. I know my eyes are like horrible looking. But I was listening to this crime show the other day. I think it's called the KFC Massacre. I forgot who was convicted of it. I think it was someone that worked there, or mother or something. I can't remember. But 5 people were taken, and they were found, well, I can't remember how far down the road, or later in town, or in another town or something, in the woods. Okay, oh yeah, also disclaimer. Oh, that, I forget about that, disclaimers. We will be talking about death and people being eliminated, and sometimes go into a little bit of detail about that. And so if you're kind of sensitive to that stuff, just letting you know that we'll be talking a little bit about, because it's crime and criminals and death and stuff, and a little bit, if you're a little bit sensitive to that, it's okay. But when we talk about other subjects, you can also, like I said, right now I'm starting off with crime. We could talk about other subjects that if you want to join that are more better for you, we could do that. Because my channel is Talk with Rose, not just Crime Talk with Rose. This is Crime Talk with Rose. But we could do other things on another day. But right now we're talking about crime, so we will be talking about death and eliminations and a little bit of details about how the people were found. And that's what I'm kind of going into right now. So, and this is live, so I don't have a timestamp for you to skip forward to or anything, because this is live, so that you can live chat with me, so that if you're watching, you can live chat about the subject, so that you could put in your 2 cents as I talk about it. And that's why I kind of like the live chat better than the pre-recording, is so that you could put in your 2 cents as I'm putting in my 2 cents, and we can maybe, because what I'm going to be talking about is not just cases like everybody else, and you hear mostly the same thing. I mean, everybody's podcasts are a tiny bit different. Like when I did the last one, the first one I just did, the Rachel Zahow, I watched like 4 or 5 different podcasts, and each one added or took away from the story. But all were pretty much similar story, though. No, we're going to be talking about, I'll be watching a crime show and something will just click in my head, and I'll see something different that nobody's talking about, that nobody mentions in their podcast, that could be a game changer in the crime, and it could change the way, police, detectives, everybody looks at it. It could change the outcome of the crime, or who gets convicted, or everything, or maybe not, or it's just a nice added little detail. But I kind of just talk about things I see that nobody else sees, that I think are actually pretty valid. But so anyways, there's disclaimer about everything. So these 5 victims were found in the woods. They were all laying in a row on their stomachs, with their arms up like this and their head in their arms, as if like they were told to lay down. You know how like sometimes they'll tell you don't look, the criminals say, well, if you don't look at me, or if you don't, blindfold you so you don't know where we're going, we're going to drop you off in the middle of nowhere so you can't follow us, or and they say, just lay down, cover your eyes, everything's going to be okay, we're going to walk away, and then give us like, a 10-minute head start, and then you can leave, and it's like stay laying there for like 10 minutes. And so they keep the victim calm. They tell him, you're going to live through this, it's going to be okay, just do as I say. But however, the criminal, in their mind, they know the whole time how this is going to end. They don't mean to leave them alive. They don't mean to leave them where they are going to walk away from this. But if the victim knew that, then they might fight back. So they're going to lie to you. They're going to tell you everything you want to hear, just to get to their inevitable end. And then I got to thinking about that, and I thought about how that just recently happened in my own life. But that happens all the time. And people are saying, oh, police are good at catching criminals because this is their job. They do it every day. You know, they know what to look for. And sometimes, what if they know what to look for? Because they know what they would do. They know exactly what they would do. Because they do it all the time. They keep their victim, which is calm. They tell you they're not here to arrest you, punish you, take your kids, whatever it is they're there for. They're going to tell you we're not here to do that. We're just here to do this one thing, and then we're done. And they're like, okay, we did this one thing, but now we need to do this, but then we'll be done. And they slowly guide you until you get to that inevitable end that's always been in their mind. But they've kept you calm and compliant the whole way. Because they took it little by little, they manipulated you. Into compliancy. And so when the cop goes and looks at the crime scene, like with Scott Peterson, they completely, within an hour, they knew the husband did it and they had tunnel vision. And they put manpower and resources every day into following him. Why? Because they're looking around going, yeah, only a husband would have done this. Only a husband could have kept her this compliant and got things done this far. And so, like I said, sometimes it makes me wonder, like, they're good at their job because they do this every day too. They do to regular people every day what criminals do to their victims. They have the same personality, mentality, narcissism too. I mean, cops are known for their narcissism and their inflated egos and everything, and they can't be wrong. Even if they lie, they're still not wrong, and they'll lie to get what they want. Criminals will lie to get what they want. When they get caught and everything goes to court, they'll lie to get out of it. The only problem is when cops lie, because they wear the badge, they're in a trustworthy position. Everybody automatically believes them because they're the public figure of good. And when the criminal is sitting at the defendant's table, and like I was watching the Scott Peterson case yesterday again, and they were talking about, well, is he guilty or is he innocent? Because there's some things where I can see that he's innocent, and there's some things where I can see that he's guilty. Like, it's really hard, and like, if I was a jury member on that case, I wouldn't have known which way to swing. Because there's some things that tell me that he's not guilty, and there's some things that tells me that he is, and I don't know which way to go. Because, yeah, either the guy does have bad luck and he's innocent, or he's totally guilty and the evidence matched up. Because some of the evidence matches up and some of it doesn't. Where was I going with this? But yeah, so he goes in, and of course he pleads not guilty. And the court of public opinion has decided whether he's guilty or not. And that's why, like, it took 10 weeks to select a jury, because they had to find the most jury members that weren't tainted by this, weren't tainted by the news, and already had it in their mind what they were going to say or do or convict. Like, it was really hard to find unbiased people. Because most people were biased that he did it. And so, yeah, they're going to go in and they're going to say, no, I told the truth. I'm not guilty. Even though they may have lied to get their case to court. But, like I said, the worst part is they're in an automatic position to be believed. And so they totally abuse the power that's given to them. It's kind of funny that people don't always readily believe that cops lie, but there is evidence of cops planting. Like, that's how O.J. Simpson won, because they got a cop on the stand to admit that he was racist, and they're like, yep, evidence planted, not guilty. And so, yeah, like, it's kind of crazy that, because I've always had this thought in a way in the back of my mind, like how serial killers, they should just become executioners or stuff like that, because then they get to do what they want to do, but legally. But, like, yeah, maybe criminals should become cops. They'd be great at their jobs. It's like, don't go do crime. It's pretty darn easy to go become a cop. Just go become a cop, and then you get to mess with victims and win in the end. And so what do you guys think about that little rant? It's kind of been on my mind for the last couple of days. It's like, wait a second. I was like, oh, they both are so good, so narcissistic, so manipulative, so good at keeping their victims calm all the way. Because I know I got tricked into the day started out, we don't want to take your kids. We're not here to take your kids. We're here to just document stuff and help you out. And I said, no, you're here to take my kids. No, they're not. No, we're not. We're not here to take your kids. We're not taking your kids. By the next week, they had finished doing what they started that morning and finally seized the kids. I mean, it took them 2 weeks to do it. It was a whole week of them visiting me first and getting little by little information out of me during the course of a whole week. Then coming over with a warrant. And that's where the next week-long journey started of, okay, we're going to get these kids out of here. But they had to slowly figure out how to do this, because they had no legal rights to just remove the kids. So they had to figure out how to get that legal right. And so that's why it took like 2 whole weeks to do it. They had to slowly get the info out of us. It was like they nicely, manipulatively tortured it out of us in a way of, we don't want to take your kids, so if you just comply and do this, you'll be fine in the end. We just need to get this done, and you and your kids will be back together. And they're like, we're just here to help. They had to sign papers because they were just here to help, agreements on how they were going to help. I mean, they fabricated everything. And that's what they did. You could tell by the way that those 5 bodies were laying that they were probably manipulated the whole time, being told, you're gonna be released, you're gonna be okay, just don't look at us, don't blah blah, do what we say, you know, got them to completely comply. Until the inevitable end was reached. That was in their mind from the beginning. But out of self preservation, the victim is always going to comply. You're saving yourself, you're saving your spouse, your kids, your family, everything. You're doing what it takes. Well, hopefully, you guys like this 2 cents of mine. Maybe soon we'll get chatters. I know it's very early on me making these videos, so I don't expect a lot of chatters. But maybe we'll get to that point where we will have like maybe a certain day I do this on, so everybody knows when I'll be here. And because right now I'm just recording whenever, and we'll have chatters come in and we can chat live, and people can share their own experiences and whatnot and own thoughts, um and it'll just be a very nice lively kind of deal. That's what I'm hoping for, is, like I said, that live crime or whatever subject. Like, doesn't always have to be crime, but it can be, but it doesn't. Just whatever interests us, because I'm up for talking about Marvel and all other kinds of things too. Whatever's going on. And I will watch the comments, because you can put it down in the comments, so I can also, if you have an idea of what you want to chat about, I can also pre-look up whatever you need me to, so I can go look and form my opinions on it before the stream, so that I can come ready loaded with my opinions. Alright, love you guys all out there in YouTube land. Thanks for hitting that follow button and subscribe button or whatever, and hope to see you soon and chat with you soon about this stuff.